Israeli channel, Abbas refused to receive a call from Pompeo and Netanyahu will bear the garbage collection. June 27, 2020. Israeli channel, Kan, said Saturday evening, President Mahmoud Abbas has refused to receive a phone call from U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in recent days. She added that this comes after there have been extensive contacts, to arrange the call, before the talks begin in the White House, about the annexation scheme. The channel reported that the Palestinian Authority had refused mediation by the CIA to open talks with the American administration. And she continued, the Palestinian leadership informed European and American officials that if Israel made any annexation step, the authority would be dissolved, weapons would be handed over to the Israeli army, no salary would be paid, and there would be no Palestinian government. A Reuters news agency quoted a U.S. official as saying on Thursday that the White House had not reached a final decision on Israeli annexation steps in the West Bank. U.S. officials said, the meetings lasted 3 days at the White House, to aides to U.S. President Donald Trump, regarding whether Washington would give Israel a green light to include parts of the West Bank. It concluded without making a final decision. There is still no final decision on the next steps to implement the Trump plan, said one of the officials, who spoke on condition of anonymity, that Trump, who adheres to a policy strongly supportive of Israel, participated in the consultations. Another U.S. official said, there is a need for more fact-finding before determining a final decision for the United States. Erekat, if the annexation takes place, Netanyahu will bear the garbage collection. My question to Hamas is the collapse of the authority. Who will rise in Gaza? Secretary of the Executive Committee of the Liberation Organization. The Secretary of the PLO's Executive Committee, Saeb Erekat, confirmed that if Israel were to annex 1 centimeter of West Bank land, it would destroy the authority. He added in an interview with the Meet the Day program via the official, Palestine TV accordingly, the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu will be responsible for garbage collection in Rafah, Jerusalem, and Hebron, and he will bear his full responsibility as an occupying power. Erekat said, the contractual characteristic between the organization and Israel is based on 4 pillars, indicating that the annexation is a departure from the contractual agreement with Israel. He added, if Netanyahu now decides to annex the settlement, Ma'ale Adumim, for example, this means that he decided the fate of Jerusalem, and thus it became outside the negotiations. Regarding the Arab position, the Secretary of the Executive Committee of the PLO confirmed that President Abbas confirmed in Makkah al-Mukarramah during Ramadan in 2019 that we had not authorized anyone to speak on our behalf. He said, as we have said, no one has the right that this militant people who resist the occupation, to bring a person with a superficiality without knowledge, to speak on his behalf. He added, we asked for a loan from the Arabs, and we cannot force the people. The Palestinian issue is an Arab issue with distinction, and any Arab country that suffers from a stalemate, we are with it, and the Palestinian leadership knows how and when to take the decision. Erekat stressed that the declared Arab official position, as expressed by Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Jordan, that if Israel undertakes annexation, there will be no Palestinian-Israeli peace, and no Arab-Israeli peace, and this phrase we want to hear daily from all Arab countries. The Secretary of the Executive Committee of the PLO added, I ask all Arab countries to take the same position as the Belgian Parliament, which was issued on Thursday, and that there will be no kind of discussions with Israel, if the annexation decision is announced. He stressed that the peace initiative linked the end of the occupation to the normalization of relations, and now if Israel says it will perpetuate the occupation, and Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, is it reasonable that there would be consent from any person or Arab system? Erekat stressed that there is a permanent state of all Palestinian leaders, at the level of the Executive Committee, the Liberation Organization, the Central Committee of the Fatah movement, and the national factions, and there are clear decisions and procedures to be implemented. Concerning the Palestinian internal situation, Erekat asked, this division over how long, what remains for Hamas to announce the end of the coup, pointing out that the continuation of this coup has become a focal point for Kouchner and Netanyahu, who is the entrance and exit. He said, ending the division and coup and our national unity is the basis. When Arab planes land at Ben Gurion Airport, and send money and goods to Gaza, what is the meaning of this talk? The secretary of the Executive Committee of the Palestine Liberation Organization stressed that Hamas today is required to end the coup immediately and the spotlight of Palestinian legitimacy, and below that, aims to destroy the national project and destroy the authority. And Erekat added, if the Muslim Brotherhood movement does not want a Palestinian state, and you want a caliphate state, and they want to enter from this entrance, which is the destruction of power, then this is in the interest of whom? Erekat continued, now, our hands are outstretched, and there is nothing to disagree on, neither security coordination nor agreements. What prevents you from ending the coup? He asked, tomorrow if the authority collapses and is destroyed by Netanyahu, who will rise in the Gaza Strip, the money will be in the hands of Netanyahu, meaning Hamas will receive the money from Netanyahu, as you receive everything now from Netanyahu. Is this coordination or not? The secretary of the Executive Committee of the PLO added, I hope that Hamas will immediately announce the end of the division and coup, and the lights will fall under Palestinian legitimacy, and the PLO.